scientific revolution was not just one of applied mathematics and biology, but of drastic changes to the world as we know it. These forerunners of modern-day science have contributed vastly to life today, as our knowledge of science develops through the collaborative works of scientists in the scientific community. Women of society were educated better than those of poorer roots, yet were still not taught the same essentials to that of their male counterparts. Cavendish, being privately tutored, received a similar education. Despite these hurdles, Cavendish gained interest in scientific studies. Her mistress was exiled, and she followed behind her in Paris in 1644. This important move led her to live a life and become known for her writings in science, mainly philosophy. Her claim to royalty came out of her marriage to the Duke, thus granting her the title of Duchess. Her philosophic writings have often contradicted that of Plato and Aristotle, which for thousands of years have been the holy grail of philosophy. Her writings have several points of interest, such as materialism, God, and the capacities of matter. In contrast, her middle brother John, a known scholar, would have esoteric conversations with her in their home, as it was unsightly for women to be an intellectual in public. Views of Cavendish during her time ranged from mad to genius.
Cavendish had a majorly informal education and depicts the life of a woman scientist in France accurately. Cavendish wrote 14 scientific books. Her intelligence would soon be her folly, as she acted as her own physician and in her deteriorating health would perform purges and bleeds.
Changing topics, Maria Marian was a German-born naturalist. She is known for her illustrations of organisms. She would draw things such as butterfly metamorphosis to simple flora and fauna. Also a published author, Marian published her first book of natural illustrations, titled Neues Blumenbuch, in 1675 at the age of 28.
Marian was an etymologist, and the majority of her specimens were in South America. She also drew out 60 stages of insect developmental life cycle.
Perhaps much of her life's influence came from her stepfather, a painter. She ventured around categorizing and depicting the specimen throughout her travels. She had sold her works back at home, ranging from her art to her books to engravings of nature. Her work was only reevaluated and validated in the last quarter of the 20th century. Her botanical art has been reprinted and praised ever since. In fact, in April 3rd, 2013, she was awarded the day's Google Doodle in honor of her birthday.
Maria Winckelmann was a famous late 17th century astronomer who is known best for being one of the first to observe Saturn, Venus, and Uranus. Maria met and married an astronomer and mathematician Gottfried Kirch. They worked as a team and created almanacs and calendars based off of their findings. In 1702, Maria's discovery of the comet of 1702. Gottfried took credit for this finding, yet Maria's works in her own name received praise and recognition throughout Germany. Winckelmann also worked in the observatory, and this family setting yielded to her advanced training. Winckelmann had 25 years of experience in her field. She mainly used the Observatory of Berlin. 10 years after her biggest finding, Gottfried announced that it was his wife's discovery and not his. Winckelmann prepared his horoscopes reluctantly, as astrology and astronomy were closely linked even into the 18th century. Winckelmann had an astonishing impact on astronomy due to her unique position in the scientific community. These women have shown that they can make a lasting impact on the community, including the men, and that their findings will be known for years to come.
These women contributed to the prospective fields as any male scientist. What small hills and tribulations they overcame was a giant feat in the eyes of womanhood.
I'm Margaret Cavendish, and I must report my findings to science of chemistry. Hello, I'm Maria Marian. Would you like to buy some of my engravings? I've been to South Africa.
I'm Maria Winckelmann, and I'm reporting my sightings as I see from the sky. There's a comet!